It's 2 in the morning. You have barely 10 centimeters of mattress. Your dog is sprawled out like a starfish, one paw on your ankle, their heavy breathing against your calf. Most people think they're just looking for warmth, or that they do it out of habit, or because they're a little too clingy. But behavioral neuroscience tells a completely different story. What your dog does every night is one of the most complex expressions of trust and evolutionary biology that exists between two species on this planet. What happens under your covers is not about comfort. And stay with me, because at the end of this video, I'll reveal to you why a sudden change in this nighttime habit is actually a cry for help that 35% of owners ignore until it's too late. Let's destroy the warmth theory first. Your dog has access to sunlight during the day, radiators, or a plush couch. If all they wanted was warmth, they have plenty of options. So why do they keep choosing your bed? Because sleep is the state of absolute vulnerability. When a dog closes their eyes, their archaic prey instincts kick in. Every cell in their body screams at them to find the safest possible spot before losing consciousness. And instead of hiding in a dark corner, they cross the house to collapse against a human 15 times their size. So it's not just about temperature. Hungarian researchers adapted the famous psychological attachment test used for human infants and applied it to dogs. The results destroy every preconception. Dogs develop an attachment bond with their owner that is functionally identical to the bond between a baby and their mother. The same visceral need for closeness, the same distress during separation, the same soothing during reunions. 61% of the dogs tested showed what's called secure attachment. That's almost exactly the same proportion as in young human children. When your dog chooses to fall asleep next to you, they're performing the most fundamental behavior in attachment psychology, seeking physical proximity to their safe figure at their most vulnerable moment. They're not clingy. They're simply telling you that you are the safest place in their world. While you drift into unconsciousness, a fusion takes place, and it's not just psychology, it's chemistry. A Japanese study in 2015 revealed an extraordinary discovery. A single exchanged glance, a single physical touch, triggers a hormonal surge that strengthens your bond with every passing second. It's a surge of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same one that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn for the first time. And no other animal on Earth shares this with humans. They ran the test with wolves raised by humans. The connection didn't activate at all. This mechanism co-evolved specifically between us and them, and physical contact amplifies it. Science proves that just 10 minutes of petting lowers your cortisol, the stress hormone, in both of you. Now, imagine what happens during 8 hours of sleep, pressed against each other. And this shared sleep goes back to the very beginning of time. In Germany, archaeologists uncovered a fascinating burial site, 2 humans buried with 2 dogs. One of those dogs had survived a fatal illness for several weeks before dying. At the time, a sick dog was useless. It couldn't hunt, it couldn't guard. And yet, a human had fed it, cared for it, kept it alive until the end. These dogs weren't working tools, they were family. Geneticists have even discovered that domestic dogs carry a unique genetic insertion on chromosome 6, a mutation directly linked to an extreme drive for human contact. Wolves don't have it. When your dog seeks your contact in the darkness, they're not expressing a modern pet's whim. They're reactivating a sacred alliance, sealed in dust and blood long before the invention of writing. To them, you're not just an owner. You are their anchor in time. You are their bulwark against the void of night. And what about your own body during all of this? A fascinating study monitored the sleep quality of dozens of sleepers and their dogs. The results seem impossible. Yes, the sensors show that dogs physically disturb our sleep. They move around, they take up space, they kick their paws. And yet, nearly all participants reported feeling deeply more rested and safe with their dog in the room. How is that possible? Because your conscious brain may be annoyed by the lack of space, but your deep nervous system recognizes that warm breathing beside you as the ultimate signal of safety. You don't lose sleep quality. You recover a soothing instinct older than humanity itself. Even more striking, Your hearts actually synchronize physically in the darkness. This is called nervous system co-regulation. If you're stressed, your dog's heart rate adjusts to stabilize you. They absorb your tension to offer you rest. You're not just sharing a mattress, you're sharing a biological signature. Two different species tuning their heartbeats together to survive the night. But there's one last thing you need to know. This may be the most important part of this video. If your dog has slept beside you for years and one day they simply stop, never ignore it. Dogs are creatures of habit. When a ritual this powerful disappears overnight, it's often physical. Veterinary medicine researchers are clear on this. A sudden change in sleeping location is often the very first symptom of deep physical pain, long before limping or whimpering. A dog that stops jumping onto the bed hasn't suddenly decided to become independent. They may be in pain. And in senior dogs, nighttime isolation is the primary symptom of canine cognitive dysfunction syndrome, a form of dementia that already affects 35% of dogs over 8 years old. Your dog can't speak. If they change their sleeping habits, it's a silent cry for help. Listen to it. The next time they leave you with only 10 centimeters of mattress, don't see an inconvenient animal. See a being that has crossed 15 millennia to be pressed against you. Sleeping near you is the safest place in their entire universe. But if your dog also has the habit of following you absolutely everywhere during the day, from room to room, pay attention. It's not just love, and understanding it is urgent. Click on the video on screen to discover the real reason behind this behavior.